The sun was shining through the trees of South Island. Birds were tweeting, and butterflies were floating past. It was another beautiful day in the forest, and Sonic and Tails were playing. But unlike most days, Sonic had company. Beside him sat a basket with his new little brother in it. "Come on, Slowpoke," Sonic called to Tails. "Let's go find some rings before we lose them." Tails slowed down so that Sonic could catch up. "I'm sorry I took so long," Tails apologized. "But I wanted to make sure you wouldn't get into any trouble while I was gone." Sonic rolled his eyes at this and nudged his brother playfully. "Don't worry about me. I can handle myself, even if I am the youngest." Tails smiled back, glad to see that his big brother was so confident. They dashed off, chasing after the rings. And soon they reached a clearing where they would often play. Only today, there was someone waiting for them. In the middle of the clearing stood an old badger, leaning on a stick. He looked up at the two hedgehogs. "Can I help you?" Sonic asked suspiciously. The badger smiled mysteriously. "Well, you see? I saw you playing over there and I thought I'd ask. Would you like to go on an adventure?" Sonic's ears perked up at the mention of an adventure, but Tails shook his head quickly.
"Oh no!
"Thank you. We don't have time for an adventure. We need to collect all the Chaos Emeralds." The badger looked disappointed, but then he got an idea. He turned to Sonic and asked, "What about you? Would you like to come with me?" Sonic hesitated. On one hand, he wanted to find the Chaos Emeralds, but on the other, he really liked adventures. So, he looked at Tails and asked, "Can I go?" When Tails saw the hopeful look on Sonic's face, he couldn't say no. "All right," Tails said, "but we're only going for a little while." Sonic cheered and thanked his brother. Then he turned to the badger and said, "Lead the way." The badger smiled again and started walking into the forest. As he walked, he explained that he knew of a secret path that led deeper into the woods. It wasn't easy to find, but it was definitely worth it. Sonic nodded, listening intently. Tails followed behind Sonic, making sure that his brother didn't run off ahead of them. Soon enough, they had arrived at the entrance to the secret path. It was just a small opening in the trees, but as they stepped inside, it closed behind them, turning into a wall. "Whoa!" Sonic exclaimed. Tails gasped. "How are we supposed to get out now?" Just then, the badger spoke up. "Don't worry, I know a way out. Follow me." He started walking deeper into the secret path. The hedgehogs followed closely behind him. After what seemed like hours of walking, they finally reached a clearing. In the middle of it was a sparkling blue waterfall. But that wasn't the only thing that caught their attention. Sitting beside the waterfall was a huge monitor lizard, dozing peacefully. It must have been guarding the entrance to the secret path. Suddenly, the lizard opened one eye and looked at them. "Oh, you found me," he said in a deep voice. "So you're the ones who have been stealing my food." Sonic and Tails looked at each other in confusion. "Stealing your food?
What are you talking about?"
The lizard narrowed his eye, suspicious. "Well, someone has been taking all the fish out of my lake. And I think it's you." Tails crossed his arms and shook his head. "That's not true. We haven't touched your fish." The lizard snorted. "Sure, you haven't. But if you didn't take my fish, then why did you come here?" Sonic thought for a moment. "We came here because the badger said it was a secret, and we like secrets." The lizard sighed and rubbed his forehead with his paw. "You guys are really something else. I guess I'll let it slide this time, but don't take my fish again, or you'll be in trouble." Sonic promised that they wouldn't, and the lizard allowed them to pass. As they continued on, Sonic and and Tails noticed that the trees around them were starting to disappear, and they were now running along a path made of stone. The air grew colder, and Sonic hugged himself. Soon they came across a river. It was so wide that they couldn't see the other side. And standing in the middle of it was a strange creature. It looked like a cross between a crab and a turtle, and it was blocking their way. "Oh hi," Sonic greeted. Can we get past?" The crab stared at them for a moment without saying a word. Tails cleared his throat. The crab suddenly lunged at them and started attacking. Sonic and Tails dodged its snapping claws and tried to get past it, but it kept blocking their way. They needed a new plan. Sonic stopped running and looked around for something that could help them. His eyes landed on a nearby tree, and he had an idea. He told Tails to distract the crab while he went to get some rings. Tails nodded and ran towards the crab. He spun around it, dodging its attacks, until Sonic came back with the rings. Then Sonic placed the rings on the ground in front of the crab. The crab stopped attacking and stared at the rings. Sonic kept backing away slowly. Once he was far enough away, he sped off, leaving Tails and the crab behind. On the other side of the river, Sonic found more rings and brought them back to Tails. Together, they lured the crab further down the path, eventually reaching a large cave. Inside was a small pond, and sitting beside it was a frog. The frog blinked slowly. Whoa. The frog said, "It looks like I have some visitors." Sonic and Tails approached the frog cautiously. "Do you know a way for us to get back home?" the frog asked. "Yeah, through that cave, but it's too small for you. You'll have to go around." Sonic nodded and started heading back. The frog smiled. "Actually, I lied. There is no way out of this cave. You're trapped here forever." Before Sonic and Tails could react, the frog jumped into the air and lunged at them. They dodged and ran away. They ran past the crab, who was too focused on the rings to notice them. They raced through the forest, trying to find the entrance to the secret path. But after a while, they realized that they were lost. They had been running for so long that they had forgotten where they started. Tails looked at Sonic with tears in his eyes. "What are we gonna do now? We'll never get home." Sonic hugged his brother. "Don't worry, Tails. We'll be okay. We just need to stay calm and think of a plan." Sonic looked around for something that could help them. His eyes landed on a nearby house. Maybe someone inside could help them. They knocked on the door and waited. A moment later, it opened and revealed a friendly-looking hedgehog. "Can I help you?" she asked. "We're lost," Tails said. "We were on an adventure with this badger, but we can't find our way home." The hedgehog smiled and invited them inside. She gave them some water and food and then helped them contact Knuckles. Knuckles arrived soon after, and used his super strength to smash open the wall, revealing the secret path. Sonic and Tails hugged Knuckles in gratitude. Then they set off to find the Chaos Emerald. And from that day on, Sonic never went on an adventure without his brother again. The end.